Welcome in, 6 o'clock, everyone. Jason Hackett and Lauren Lemanchek back with us in the house as we get ready to kick off the fair here in just a couple of days.
And what is so important about the fair every year is the weather. John is tracking just some absolutely gorgeous temperatures.
I feel like it's typically really hot, and it's tough. You know, we're always out there, 105. I remember a day last year. And no, this year is going to be chilly. I doubt it's going to be that chilly by the afternoons each day, but definitely some of the cooler weather that I've seen for the fair. Out here now, gorgeous morning, 72. Now, it's been calm and we have fog, and I know if you're watching outside of the metro, we do have some of that fog settling in. You see the current temps right now, middle to upper 60s, 72 here in the metro, but the dew points are still pretty high, and when you have clear skies, the temperature can rapidly fall and touch the dew point, because again, why does the temperature not drop to 30 degrees? Well, where's the floor? It's the dew point. So your temperature can drop only to the dew point, and if it does so, well, the prize you win is fog. So that's why we have fog all over the place. You can see Brainerd, St. Cloud, not in the metro because the urban heat island effect keeping us a few degrees warmer than the fog. And then you can see down here towards Mankato, it's also a little foggy. So one quick check here of that. See pretty dense here, less than half a mile in Mankato. Twin Cities is at 6, so very patchy. I did have some fog still coming in this morning. I'm a little thicker up 169 and 371 north of St. Cloud on your way to Brainerd. How does it look out there, Cece, with the fog?
Hey, things look pretty good. I did see some fog down in the Mankato area, but again, like you mentioned, once you hit the Twin Cities, everything is A-OK. But definitely use those low beams down in Mankato. Taking a look down here in Eden Prairie. Good morning if you're watching from there. You see, and Jason even pointed it out to me this morning that he's so happy about this, not seeing any lane closures on Highway 212 between the Eden Prairie Road, Mitchell Road stretch to 494. So that'll make the morning commute way easier this morning. Also keep in mind, I mentioned yesterday that 35W down in Burnsville is shut down for some work between 494 and the Burnsville split, but things are open back up this morning. They will shut down though later tonight at 9. Other than that, things looking pretty great. We'll go back near Edina where I'm seeing a traffic incident there. Show you a live look of that in a few. Lauren.
All right, we'll check back. Thank you, Cece. This morning, crews start putting up signs in Falcon Heights about new parking rules around the state fairgrounds.
Yeah, this is a big one. This year, street parking in some areas will no longer be free. Audrey Russo's live at the fairgrounds this morning with what you have to know before you head out. Audrey.
Yeah, keep your eyes peeled for these signs going up today and tomorrow. They're going to have all the information that you need about these brand new parking fees. First and foremost, though, get your mobile app store ready, your Android app store, because you're going to have to download an app in order to pay these fees, and that is the Park mobile app. Now, this is the first time ever that Falcon Heights is charging folks for the privilege of parking on their streets. They're charging fairgoers $25 to park on certain streets near the fairgrounds between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Now, this is going to affect around 1,000 parking spots in total. And in addition to paying through the Park mobile app, you can also pay by phone or you can go to the Park mobile website. But Falcon Heights City Administrator says the goal here is to recoup some of the costs associated with hosting the fair.
We don't get a tax from the fair. We don't have kind of any type of support in that regard. So we're hoping that this can kind of help offset some of those fees.
Yeah, and some of those costs include setting up portable bathrooms, picking up litter here in Falcon Heights. Now, if you live in one of those designated parking zones, there's actually going to be a little bit of a bonus for you this year. I've got more on that coming up in about 30 minutes, but for now, I'll send things back to you.
Oh, that is a big change for a lot of folks who are used to that free parking heading out to the fair. It's already a couple of bucks to get your family out there. Now this is another added expense on top of that.
Well, it's good to let people know maybe they can look at some other options. Thank you so much, Audrey.
And we were excited to see you at the Care Barn for Fair Questions. John and I will be joined by the one and only Boyd Huppert on opening day. It is going to be awesome. I cannot wait. That's going to start sometime after 10. Now, a reminder here, the barn is located near the corner of Judson and Nelson. You can also catch the 4, 5, and 6 weekday newscasts live and also Saturday mornings at 8. Well, time now 6:05. We have breaking news to get to now on the 3-day Air Canada flight attendant strike. In the last 60 minutes, the union is reporting a tentative deal has been reached. The union representing 10,000 flight attendants walked off the job on Saturday over failed contract talks. Thousands of passengers had been stranded in that time as the airline was forced to cancel flights. Their latest mediation session lasted 9 hours and ended right before we came on the air. Air Canada says their flights will gradually resume service today.
Right now, we're waiting to hear back from the Minneapolis Park Police and the Hennepin County Sheriff's Office about an ongoing search for a person who may be in Lake Nokomis. This was the scene in the last 12 hours. We know crews were searching on land, in the air, and in the water for a person who was experiencing a mental health crisis. At last check, they had not found them. If you are having thoughts of self-harm, you can always call or text the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Trained professionals are available 24/7 to listen and help.
Opening statements could start as soon as today in the trial for the Benton County man charged in the shooting of 5 officers nearly 2 years ago. Michelle Beck is in the newsroom breaking down day one. Michelle.
Well, hey, Jason, I just looked at the court calendar and Carl Holmberg's jury trial picks back up at 8 a.m. Based on what we learned yesterday, we're expecting to hear a lot more throughout trial about self-defense. This video is as striking today as it was nearly 2 years ago when we captured it. You can see right here Holmberg getting arrested outside his Princeton home following a shootout and standoff with police. Officers were there on a search warrant for drugs. 5 of those officers allegedly hit by Holmberg's bullets. The 66-year-old also shot in the foot. Holmberg faces attempted first-degree murder charges of an officer, and as court papers reveal, he plans to claim self-defense from an unjustified bodily attack. Now, we know jurors have been questioned about their views on self-defense, and today we are watching for jury selection to wrap up. Then at some point in the trial, we'll see Holmberg take the witness stand. That is a rule from the judge if the defendant wants to follow through with that self-defense claim. Lauren.
All right, Michelle, thank you. 6:07 now this morning, we are tracking Hurricane Erin as it inches closer to U.S. waters. Right now, the Category 3 storm is surging through the Atlantic Ocean, but is expected to stay offshore. Still, the National Weather Service says East Coast beaches could see dangerous rip currents in the next several days with waves up to 15 feet. Already, at least 60 swimmers had to be rescued from rip currents near Wilmington, North Carolina. The last 24 hours, people along the Carolina coast have been evacuating. Forecasters expect coastal flooding will begin there today and continue through Thursday.
This morning,